Welcome to our homeschool room tour. I'm so excited to be able to share this room with you all. It has taken us quite some time to get this room together. I really have to give a big thanks to my husband. He did a majority of this, putting up the beadboard and the trim and helping me paint. And he really helped me to capture the image that I wanted for a room specific to educating our children and play. So I went with a very vintage theme. I have a lot of olden antique vintage items such as manipulatives, chairs, decorations, pictures, and I just really wanted this room to feel like it was welcoming for a place to play and learn, but yet follow the aesthetic of the antique vibe that I'm going for and that I love. So right when you walk in, you see this round table. This is an antique table that I bought at an antique store. It's surrounded by vintage chairs that actually need a little bit of fixing. And I also bought the mirror and the chalkboard and the rocking chair from Facebook Marketplace. The ABC chart is from Amazon, and I will link that down below. But when you walk in, I wanted you to first get the sense of, oh, this is a schoolroom. This is where children are going to play and learn. On the left here is just a shelf that I keep my printer, my computer sometimes, and then our curriculum books. We are using the Foundations in Education curriculum, the preschool kindergarten curriculum that I created, and we have just been really enjoying it. My kids have been doing super well with it. They are 3 and 4. Now my daughter just turned 5 the other day, so they have been doing really well. We are yet to get into book 2, but we are just finishing book 1. So I have my books, some chalk, some extra ink for my printer. I have a binder that helps me to create the holes for the binding spirals, and then a laminator. And this Scotch laminator has been absolutely awesome. I did buy most of this on Facebook Marketplace, but everything that I did actually purchase that you can get, I will link below. So if you turn, you see this wall that I really wanted to focus on vintage art. I love these pictures of these 2 women with their children. I love that at the top is the Scottsbluff Monument around where I grew up, and then again, a mother with her child. I just absolutely love those pictures. I love doing art studies with my kids and having them see kind of what the clothing was like, the vehicles, if you will, back in the day, and just learning about the advances that we have made so far just in our society and just overall. I love to light candles. I think it helps with the aesthetic and just how I'm feeling. I think it brings everything together and makes everything feel more beautiful. Plus my kids love to blow out the candles at the end. So I just have the table set up here with their paint trays. I bought these on Amazon. Again, I will link below. I have their cards from this curriculum. I laminated them, and then in this Farmhouse bin, which I got from Hobby Lobby, it houses all of our markers, colored pencils, glue, scissors, and all of the tools we may need in our lesson. So I have their books laid out on the table, and then these I just laminated along with these other shapes. Again, these are all resources you can find in the book. So I take any activity such as these pencils, I laminate them, and then they are able to reuse this activity over and over. Back here, I also house our paint water cups. They're not very attractive or aesthetically pleasing, but it doesn't bother me. And then over here, I have our foundations map, which we have been tracking our weeks. We're actually a couple weeks behind, so I need to have them add their stickers. And then these are the rules that we go by in our house. So if you come to the corner of the room where my bookshelf was with my books, you will see a bench. Again, I bought this off Facebook Marketplace. I love this for prayer. I wanted to do an altar scene. So in this corner here, I tried to create kind of a mini altar, but I didn't have an exact space for an altar itself. So I just kind of have this be the prayer corner. So I have our alphabet hanging right underneath that picture frame and the candles. And then if you turn, you can see 3 shelves. My husband stained and put these up for me. I absolutely love them. I wanted this room to be very organized but functional for my kids. So in each of these baskets at the bottom, they can reach, and the whole bottom shelf is just meant to be for toys and play. So we're gonna start with the bottom shelf, and I'm going to go through each of the baskets. So starting right here, we have Noah's Ark. Again, I got this from Amazon. It's just a great educational biblical play tool, and my daughter actually loves to put all of the animals in a house that she creates with these magnets. I did get these magnets on sale on Black Friday at Walmart like 2 years ago, and they have held up and have been awesome. So we have a tote of magnets. This is more of my son's tote. It has cars, little people, vehicles, construction, any type of train. Some are magnetic pieces that can stick together, and then some are just little vehicles. I do have a combination of wooden and little metal vehicles. So moving on to the next 3 baskets, this first one houses puzzles. These are 3-piece animal puzzles, and they are perfect for toddlers or preschoolers, kindergartners, and my daughter loves to put these little animals together. So I just have a whole tote of animals. Again, I got this from Amazon. I will link it below. The next tote is our musical instrument tote. We love to make music. I have just come to the conclusion or the acceptance that my kids are going to be loud, and I want them to be. So I know a lot of parents want to steer away from items like this, but it is so good and educational for them. I let them just bang on the xylophone, shake the bells, the maracas, and they love it. So this basket actually houses a few things. The first are these little magnetic pieces. I know that we have the magnetic tiles, but I really liked that these included circles and little edged pieces so that they could make more structures that weren't just squares or rectangles. And then I also put these number robots in as well. And my son and I just played these for like 30 minutes this morning. They're little numbers. They do have alphabet ones too. I will link both below. I would like to get the alphabet ones. We just have the numbers so far, but they turn into robots. They are awesome. Moving on to the next bins, these ones house little animals. And so far we just have safari animals and dinosaurs, but you can remove their heads and feet and make crazy animals with them with their bodies. So my kids love to make either the correct animal, or they'll put the giraffe head on the dinosaur body, and they just make fun little crazy animals and helps kids to be really creative. So in this basket, it's again geared more for my son. It's called Build a Truck, and you have a base system that you can create the front and back of your vehicle. So you can put a loader front on and an excavator back. You can just build however you want to create fun, unique trucks. And then I also got this on Black Friday on Amazon last year. And these are just the cars that, oh my gosh, that flip over and go up and down. And my kids love to do this. It will keep them distracted for a while. My 1-year-old especially really likes this. So we're gonna bounce up to the next shelf. I just have some vintage books here. These are books that I love, as children do. Just little things that we can read but are also aesthetically pleasing. These little jars are to hold items that my kids find outside when we go on scavenger hunts. So they might be dead bugs, leaves, sticks, rocks. We haven't done that, especially because it's in winter right now. We could do it, but I was saving it for the springtime. So nothing is currently in there, but that's what those are for. So I got these jars from Hobby Lobby. They are glass with a wooden top. These hold our manipulatives for school. So we have blocks that we can use for counting. We have little wooden letters that we can build words with. We have more wooden letters, just 2 different types. We have shapes. Again, these are great for counting. They're great for comparing. And then sticks, which are also great for counting. So a lot of this stuff can deal with math, but also nature. So this basket is pretty big and pretty heavy. This just houses my extra supplies. So I just have other laminated flashcards. We have our number cards, our space cards, other alphabet cards, other preschool and kindergarten activities that I have already laminated and printed out. I have these drawing pads that my kids can use. I have one for each of my kids. I have extra whiteboards that my kids use. And then just more manipulatives that I need to cut out. And these are all from the curriculum that we're using. I also have some dry erase markers and some stickers in here as well. And I guess a wooden spatula. Down here is set up more for my 1-year-old. She loves to get into things. She loves the shape cube. It is from Target. This Bible is the one that we use with the curriculum, and I will link that below. And then we just have a few little magnet boards and then some toddler Velcro activities on the right. So this section is more of my altar section. I do have chalkboards here that we practice writing our letters with. And then I do have our flashcards. These are from book 3 of the Foundations in Education. I absolutely love these. They are just perfect basic letters that help your kids to learn the letter name and sound. We do flashcards every single day, and they have just grown so much in their knowledge of letters. So with this little altar, I have 3 rosaries that I pray with my kids. We don't get through the whole rosary, of course, but they are non-toxic, and they're wooden beads. I wouldn't say they're chewable beads, but they can be for if you have a little one who likes to stick things in their mouth. I also have a couple saints that we've been learning about. I like to learn about one saint for a while, so you might notice that these are still the same saints that were in my homeschool tour on Instagram. And then I have this cool book that I bought from a Catholic bookstore. It just has different prayers for repentance. It has a lot of the Psalms in them, and just a lot of great prayers and words that I can pray while I'm sitting on this bench. I also have this prayer card of Jesus. I love it because I love any type of depiction of him where he is hurting or in pain, because I feel like it's so realistic, and a lot of times we focus on just the happy, but I like to really teach my kids about what Jesus actually went through for us. I actually let my kids pick out the Jesus statue that we wanted for our altar, and they picked this one out. I think it's absolutely beautiful, yet so heartbreaking. They love the fact that Jesus is crying, the thorns in his head. It's just very realistic and real to them, and they just really feel the pain of Jesus and for Jesus, and I just really love that, so that's why we bought that specific one. Up here, I just have a few curriculum books that are vintage, antiques. I don't necessarily use them for curriculum, but I do use them as additives, I guess. A little something extra I like to take from them. Obviously, we don't do everything page by page, and my kids are a little bit younger, especially because these are supposed to go from a primer to a 6th grade level, but I do use bits and pieces of them. So we're going to look in these 4 baskets next. So our first basket just houses extra coloring and artsy materials. So we have markers, paint sticks, glitter paint, chalk for the chalkboard, molding clay, which I haven't even opened. I kind of forgot it was in here, honestly. And then just classic paint, not paint that has glitter in it. So those I just keep up out of my kids' reach, and then they're there for extras if we need them. So this is just our phonics basket. Obviously, phonics is going to be incorporated in the Foundations in Education curriculum, but these are just extra things that I have. So this is a read to me telephone. Your kid can whisper and they can hear themselves, listen to themselves read, or say letters, sounds. I created these wooden blocks that are dice, letters, words, words of the numbers, and then sight words. So we haven't really dug deep into this yet because we are still on the letter sounds and identification, but we will get here soon. I just have a bookmark. And then this is a different phonics program that I bought just to help supplement I really liked it, even though I might not necessarily use it very much. It is the Classical Phonics from Memoria Press. So if we wanted to focus on additional words that just belong to different letter sounds or digraphs, it gives all the different options in this book, which is the main reason why I bought this. It also came with these flashcards, which I think are super awesome and nice. I haven't used them yet because I don't feel like we're there personally for my kids yet, but hopefully we will get into this basket soon. This basket has all of our math manipulatives. So we have dice, we have fraction tiles that are magnetic, we have money, we have our place value chart. I do have some fidgets in here just because. We have a clock, and then we have this game where you have to count the dots, read the word, and find the key that matches in order to open it. Our last basket is just flashcards. So I have our patron saint flashcards, which is what you saw up on the shelf. I have a saint memory game. This is just where you lay them out and you find its match. You flip over the card, and then the next person's turn, and you try and remember where the matching card was. I have 100 prayers to share for my kids to give to friends. We have sight words, letters, numbers, colors, more sight words, and then the United States flashcards, which we have not jumped into. And here are some more patron saint cards. So the first container is for practicing lacing. My kids love to make little necklaces. Then I just have little wooden manipulatives. Again, we can use them for colors, for counting, for size comparison. And these I did paint, not super well, but I did paint them. They were from Hobby Lobby. I have some little Legos. They can, again, use it for counting, for building, for play, for multiple uses. We have more math manipulatives and shapes. We have unit cubes, hundreds blocks, rods for tens, and this just can be used for counting, again for color, comparison, counting tens, learning to count hundreds, ones. We're not exactly here yet, but we can use these rods and have used the little Unix cubes. This one is awesome. I bought it from Amazon. You have these different shapes and you create numbers and letters. So you help your child to create the different letters and numbers, and then you can work on sounds and counting. So I have these here. My kids can't do them on their own at the moment, but we like to work on them together. And then in the last container, we just have paint. So I have the little paints. This is the kit that was up there, the classic paint. These are just ones that we need to use up first. I have paintbrushes and smocks. I do set these in the corner, and my children do know that they are not allowed to get into them. Does that stop them when they're down here playing on their own? No, but I do want these to just be what I call a teacher's touch. So thank you so much for watching. I do have a whole blog post going into more depth about the different areas and what I love about this room. Again, I will have all the products linked that I can, and I just appreciate your support and interest, and hopefully this has inspired you to help create something special for your kids for their homeschool room.